Hello, welcome to today's Thrivelife Vlogmas. My name is Ijoma Ofumado, and in the Thrivelife Vlogmas, I share quick tips and actionable steps that you can immediately put into practice to improve your productivity so you can move your life in the direction of your dreams and be the person who God has called you to be. And today I want to quickly share with us how I read audiobooks and my very no fluff direct way of reading audiobooks and ensuring that they actually stick. Now, sometimes some people have a bias to audiobooks because they feel that when you do audiobooks, you didn't actually read the book, but I beg to disagree. I would rather say it depends on how you read the book, and in this short vlogmas, I'm just going to share with you how I read my books. Now, first of all, when I read books, I always say that I don't read books for the sake of reading books. Yes, it's good to read books, but I like to read books in the direction of a gap I need to fix in my life, or relevance, or something that I need to grow in. Of course, there are other kinds of books like fiction books that I read during Christmas, and this is Christmas, so I'm going to be reading I'm buying quite some fiction books to read. By the time I'm filming this video, I'm buying some nice Christmas fiction books to read, So by the time you're listening to this video, I probably have gotten them and all that because I'm in the holiday season, right? But when it comes to the non-fiction books, I'm very intentional with what I read. Now, this is what so that's the first one. I make sure that it's something that is relevant. Now, the second thing that I do is I read the book at 1.5 speed because I've trained my brain over time to process information at that speed. But if you've not done that, you might want to start with one and then work it up slowly. Now, this is what I do. Even though I buy audiobooks, I always buy the hard copy equivalent. Maybe I should update that to say I mostly buy. This is why but this has only happened once. And it has only happened once because I'm also very intentional with recommendations. But if I read an audiobook and I just feel this book was not it, I'm not going to buy this because most likely I didn't gain anything from it. But that has only happened once, So I would say I actually buy the hard copy books, and this is why. When I listen to the audiobooks, in my mind, I pick out the chapters, and the things that stood out to me. And then I go to the hard copy and I do a quick review. I go through the chapters, I speed read through the chapters. Now remember that I don't need to dive into it because I already read it via the audiobook. But then I go through the chapter, I make the lines, I take note of those things that stood out to me. And sometimes if the thing stood out to me so glaringly that I don't forget it, I quickly pick up the hard copy, go to the chapter and make a note, and drop the hard copy and continue with the audiobook. But usually every Saturday I have a time block on my calendar for audible book review. I try to plan my audibles around a week because usually most audibles are 5 to 7 hours. If I put in drive time and chill time on Saturday and some time that I have and I listen at 1.5, usually within 3.5 hours I'm able to finish a book. So a lot of times I'm actually able to listen to a book in a week, which works for me. But don't feel pressured. Feel free to do what works for you. There was also a season of my life that I was doing one book a month, and that was okay. But bottom line, I shared that because at the end of this week and Saturday evening, I have a time block on my calendar to review my audiobooks. So I bring out the audiobook that I listen to for the week, and I really just write, take note of the things that I need to take note of, So that's how I read my audiobooks, and make sure that I get the juice out of them. And then I also use my book review template, which I shared in one of my videos. It should be linked up here or in the caption, and that book review template really helps me to not only highlight and isolate the most important lessons, but also put an action plan to it. So you might want to listen to that video and create one for yourself because it's really going to be helpful. So when I get the audiobook, I'm going back through what I said again, I listen to it. I make sure I always buy the hard copy version. I've only not bought the hard copy version of one, and I feel like that's an exception. It probably will never happen again, or let me use the word, it will rarely happen again. So I almost always buy the hard copy version, and then I make notes, and then I make, if something stands out to me that I don't want to forget, I pick up the hard copy, I make a note or I underline. But at the end of the week, I always do a review, go through the book and then do a proper audible book review. I usually block about 1 hour for that, which is usually enough, and then I draw out the juice from the book, and it's as good as fully read for me. In fact, it's actually fully read. Now, unfortunately, I didn't bring any of my books, but I wanted to share one quick way that I color code my books. so that I know which one I read and how I read it. Now there is this if you're in the Netherlands, there's a shop called Hema. They sell these stickers that come in multiple colors, and there's one that comes in blue, pink, and green. Now of course you can buy stickers online, blue, just plain stickers, blue, pink, and green. Now this is what I do. When you go to my book library, maybe I'm going to do a video of it, as part of this vlogmas, but when you go to my book library, you're going to see some books are color-coded pink. When you see a book that is color-coded pink, most likely I read that book, but I never reviewed it. And I do have a couple of books like that. Sometimes I listen to a book, I got quite some value from it, but yeah, maybe not something directly actionable, and all that. So I just read it, I put the book at pink, and I file it off. And also there were some books, there was a season of my life that I really did not have the time to do a book review, but I wanted to stay learning. So I did it, and I put a pink there, so to tell myself that I listened to the audible version of this book. Now, at some time in the future, I can always go back to that book and go through and all that, and maybe just check 1 or 2 or 3 things. But that pink sticker is a reminder. I usually put it at the bottom part of the book. It's a reminder to me that I've listened to this book, albeit I listened to it as an audio version. Now, why do I put pink? The pink color reminds me of a baby girl, no stress, easy life, reading. Now the next one is green. The green sticker is, when you see a green sticker on my book, is a book that I listened to, and I also reviewed it. I reviewed the hard copy, and I use green because green for me is marked as done. So even though pink tells me that I listened to it, for me the work is marked as done when it's green. So I use the green color. So when I see a book that has a green color, I already know that, okay, this book, I not only listen to it, I actually review the hard copy. Now the last one is the blue sticker. We know blue stands for work. They say blue collar work, blue collar job. Abi, that's what they call it, Abi. Yeah, that's what they call it. So when you see a book that has a blue sticker, it's a book that I didn't do audible. I actually read the book from page to page, and I have a couple of books like that, especially my favorite books from Papa Kenneth Hagin. Most all of them are blue. They all have the blue stickers because I read them from page to page. So yeah, that's how I read my books. So please don't let anybody ever tell you that listening to audiobooks, it doesn't work. There's a way to listen to audiobooks and save your time and make it work for you and have the results show up in your life. And that is exactly what I've shared with you. I trust it helps. Take care and see you in the next Vlogmas. Bye.